today's show, we look into a unique project where video game designers are putting down the code and picking up the dice.
And we also look into what tourism looks like in San Antonio.
And finally, we talked to Danye Williams about last Thursday's game against Plano East. These stories and more on this edition of Hilltop News. Let's rock in Rock Nation, and welcome to another episode of Season 6 of Hilltop News. Live from Studio 1060, I'm Aliyana Sanchez.
And I'm Samantha Mitchell.
We have a great show in store for y'all today, starting with Samantha catching you up on everything going on around the Hill. Samantha?
Thank you, Allie. From October 23rd to 25th at 6:30 p.m., theater will be performing their fall play, Peter and the Starcatcher. Tickets are $5 and can be purchased online at rhtb.club or at the door. Next Wednesday, October 29th, Rock Hill is hosting a trunk or treat from 6 to 7:30. It is behind the school in the parking lot in front of the RHI, so bring your friends and family to play games and get candy. Next week is Red Ribbon Week. Monday is Meme Day, Tuesday is Better Together, so dress up as famous duo or trio. Wednesday is Red Flags, Thursday is Wig Day, and Friday is Costume Day for Halloween.
Last week, the video game design students worked on a special project that took them off the computer and gave them a hands-on experience into learning the basics of game creation. Yuksa Vangavetti has the story.
Video game design had a unique assignment to create board games to help learn more about the building of video games.
The board game project assignment comes at the tail end of first quarter, which is entirely devoted to principles of game design. What is a game? How do games work? What are the actual underlying things going on? And we teach that with board games, partially because they're easier to understand than prototype, but also because then we don't also have to teach like the programming at the same time.
As students started to work on their board games, they started to make connections between the assignment and how to make a successful video game.
There's a lot more in depth with things. Like, I didn't know that how specific you have to be in instructions, and how things that you think might work just don't work out in the long run, and you have to create things as you go along.
Students in the class also learned that simplifying the game makes it easier for users to play the game.
Most of them were just from like general pirate stuff. Game mechanics, I went off something like a chess or something like that, but I didn't want all the complexity in it, and that is in chess. I just wanted a simple way to move around and have like strategic built-in stuff.
As the class transitions back to the computer lab, they'll apply the principles of cardboard to code, building out the next generation of games. For Hilltop News, I'm Yukta Vangavetti.
The lessons they learned about simplification, strategic balance, and crystal clear instructions from the board games will be tested throughout the year.
This Monday, portions of the east wing of the White House were demolished, beginning construction of President Trump's approximately $250 million ballroom. The ballroom will be around 90,000 square feet. Last week, Rock Hill's film crew traveled to New York to compete in All-American High School Film Festival. They won Best Film Invitational for their film Remembering What's Inside. The film crew involved director Paige Olson, Miko Wazlowska as cinematographers, Jenica Morales-Spurl as writer, Abigail Alfred as producer, Kennedy Olson as makeup, costume, and Elvin Woodward as key cast Taylor full screen. This past weekend, Rock Hill Media traveled to San Antonio for a journalism convention where they competed in an on-site as well as pre-convention competitions to have a chance at winning awards. Here are some of the awards won.
At the convention, Cambria has looked into the drive of the city of San Antonio.
As a defense as a whole, you guys have been
all here for different reasons.
Just looking at the historic buildings, the first time there, I didn't really know what to expect from the valley, so just, trying to see what it was all about.
Bringing conventions to San Antonio allows previous experiences to come back and create new memories while still feeling the same childhood nostalgia.
Back when San Antonio Comic-Con used to be a thing, I used to go to that one once a year, and I stopped going, and this is the first one I've been in like 5 years, so pretty cool to be here again.
Due to the high wave of tourists, San Antonio offers a multitude of attractions, such as an adventure boat ride to share the history of the city for those visiting.
Most of the people that we get that come through here are tourists, and we have to kind of know a little bit about the area that we work in order to help get people around.
Not only are there a wide variety of activities on the Riverwalk, there are also annual conferences hosted at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, where event goers come together for their commonalities.
I think that San Antonio does a really good job hosting Comic-Cons because we have such a diverse population here and a lot of different interests and stuff like that. We also bring in our city's culture into Comic-Con because you get a lot of fiesta themed things and stuff like that, and we're very inviting because that's just how San Antonio's always been.
Regardless of where visitors come from, in San Antonio there is a place for everyone. For Hilltop News, I'm Cambria Hess.
In this case, we came from Rock Hill, but we saw schools from all across Texas to compete and to learn more about journalism. We had football, volleyball, and cross country in action this past week. Scarlett Espinosa is in studio to fill you in on everything Blue Hawk sports. Scarlett?
Starting off with football, last Thursday at home, our Blue Hawks finished the game on top, ending with a score of 24-7. Offensively, Bryce Allen caught 6 balls for 108 yards, while on the other hand, Courtney Lawson had 113 yards on 7 receptions. The key athletes on the defense played in the secondary. Throughout the season, Harrison Johnson has been a ball hawk with 2 interceptions last week, while Donnie Williams had his own success. Chris Gamardo spoke to him after the game to seek insight on how the defense has stepped up this year.
What's up, Blue Hawks? I'm Chris Gamardo here at Children's Health Stadium, where the Blue Hawks just wrapped up a 24-7 win against the Plano East Panthers. I have Danya Williams here to tell us about the game. First, Danya, this win was a pretty big win for playoffs, right? What does this show about the end of the season, and if you guys will be able to clinch a spot or not?
So this game was a really big game, pushing us in the seedings, knocking Plano East out the playoffs, pushing us to a higher standing. I'm really proud of the way me and my team worked out there today. Offense is clicking at the end of the game, defense firing out since from the start of the game, so it's really a pretty big win for us today.
Yeah, and Danya, you had an interception and 2 forced fumbles. What does that say individually about you and how you've prepared for this football season?
Honestly, I'm just a playmaker, I make plays, I do what I got to do to help my team win. Coach put me in the right spots at the right times for us to execute and win the game. And the whole defense as a whole, we all make plays, we all get interceptions, so this is just the start. It's only up from here.
Yeah, and as a defense, last week you guys held McKinney Boyd to 11 points. This week, Plano East to 7. As a defense as a whole, you guys have been performing this year. Is there any keys to success?
Yes, sir. So we all been connected these last couple of games. We all came together as a family. Bringing the offense together. I feel like this team right here, we're bonded. We bond really well. We all connected. We just firing off, making the best chance for us to make playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Gamardo. I'm here with Donna Williams. That's all for our Blue Hawks Sports, and I'll see you guys back in the studio.
Moving over to volleyball, they played Plano East last Friday. The Blue Hawks kept it close in the first set, losing 25-27, but lost the game 3-0. They had 29 kills, 55 digs, and 26 assists. Their next game is against Plano Senior High School for their senior night, so make sure to show up and show out. Cross country competed in the all-region 6A meet yesterday. They finished 14 out of 28 with Gavin Jasinoff and Ryan Gerard putting up the fastest times for the Blue Hawks. That's all for our Blue Hawks Sports. I'm Scarlett Espinosa. Now back to the desk.
Well, that's all we have for today's show. For Hilltop News, I'm Aliyana Sanchez.
And I'm Samantha Mitchell.
Keep rocking, Blue Hawks.